We have arrived to issue number 3 of the newest Venom series. At the end of issue 2, we have seen Dylan and Archer get away with each other. She saved him on the roof from an organization that looks to be targeting symbiotes. I took some notes here because there was a lot going on. Issue 3 started with uh, Drake talking to the leader of his military, and the name is blanking from my head right now, discussing all the symbiotes that they've come across, from the strongest to the previous gods and this and that of symbiotes, and that an all-out war is coming. And Dylan is the key to saving lives, is what Drake keeps saying. As that opening goes on, we just continue to see what Drake is trying to do with the symbiote. He doesn't want to destroy it. He says he wants to poke at it. He wants to see what it turns into when you poke it. So that old saying, be careful, don't poke the bear, thinks there's more to Venom than what currently is, which, if you guys know, Venom, Eddie Brock, became a god. He was the king, the god of the symbiotes. And I think where they're going with this is that Dylan still doesn't know what he has. And you could tell he doesn't know what he has. He doesn't want it. It's just, he's bonded with it twice. He's bonded with Venom twice. And so that was the big focus in the early pages, is that this organization, which they give the name later, is really trying to contain and study. They don't want to get rid of, because they want to use it. They want to weaponize it, essentially. After that, we pan to Dylan and Archer, who are way off. Oh, no, excuse me. Before that, we get a glimpse of what's going on through Venom's mind. Venom is, he discusses that he's been lost in space for eons. He's been the symbiote for kings, for gods. He's done it all. He's seen it all. And he still can't realize or can't understand why Dylan wants no part of him. Because Dylan wants so badly to look at Venom and get a glimpse of his dad, or for his dad to come back, is what Dylan says later. And Venom makes the statement, not to Dylan, but as Venom's talking to himself, excuse me. He says, you're looking, I'm paraphrasing, you're looking for your father when he's gone. But if you just look at me, I'm the closest thing you'll have of him. I'm your last memory of him. So essentially accept me. And it then pans to, Dylan and Archer discussing what's going on. And Archer apparently got a call from Eddie telling her that he had 6 days to live. He was going to be killed in 6 days, and he was being watched by an organization called the Absent Throne. So if you go back to chapter 1, when Eddie Brock was in space as Venom, and they were on the slave trader ship, that figure that is still up for grabs to determine was telling him that his throne would be absent soon. So it's starting to do the full circle thing. And from there, Archer tells Dylan that, she's been studying the Absent Throne organization. They're like the biggest conspiracy theory since anything. And that they have a lab or a building not too far away. And Dylan says, I'm going with you. And she said, I'm going to be doing research. I'm going to be doing like reconnaissance there tonight. And Dylan's like, I'm going, and I'm bringing my cat, which is the other symbiote, but isn't Venom. Venom is the dog. I didn't put this together. I thought the dog and the cat were just the same, were Venom, and they became the same thing, but it wasn't. Because Venom was the figure standing outside of Dylan's house in chapter 1, or in edition 1. And so Dylan says, it'll just be me and my cat. My cat goes everywhere with me. And Venom looks at Dylan. I don't know if it's said out loud, but Venom turns into Venom outside of the dog, and like is yelling and screaming, and is like, why won't you accept me? You need me, essentially he hasn't bonded with Venom yet. And that's what Eddie told him not to do. He's more in the suit, but he isn't the suit yet. He hasn't accepted that this is what it is for him. And so they get to the sorry, I'm going back to the Absent Throne facility. It's not the headquarters that they show in the first few pages. They get there. They start snooping around. They take out a bunch of random guards, and Archer goes to look at a computer, or tells Dylan to look at a computer, and Dylan does that, and Archer's in one room and Dylan's in the other. Out of nowhere, the door closes, and Archer tells him, "They caught me looking into the Absent Throne. It was my only way out, was selling him out." And so you see those guards that were trying to catch Dylan in Edition 2, and his cat symbiote tries to fight, and they take him down with ease with the wavelength guns and so forth that always work on the symbiotes. So there literally was no fight to be had there. They apprehended Dylan, and where they're moving him, I'd assume, is the main headquarters of the Absent Throne. The ending I was a little confused about, because Drake was talking to the leader of the group that was trying to catch Venom, and obviously Venom's not there. They show like a robot type suit, or maybe it's a suit itself. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to be powered by the cat symbiote. I don't know why I thought that. That was the first thing that came to mind, because the way they showed the suit on the final page was like it was something that needed to be powered by a symbiote. You know, they discussed that an awakening is coming, and it seems like there's going to be a symbiote war or something, or all the symbiotes are going to take over Earth because they've been there for so long. And that Dylan is the only hope to save lives, and that Dylan and Venom are the only hope. So they show the suit at the end, and they tell the lead military guy, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, you want to take it out for a test ride, essentially. And it looks like the next edition, he'll be fighting Venom. Obviously, Venom is going to come and try to save Dylan and the other symbiote. I don't know if this is going to be the moment where Dylan bonds with Venom and he accepts it, or they throw a fastball and Eddie Brock comes back out of nowhere, which I'm still banking on. Again, there was very little mention, if anything, no mention of Eddie Brock. So I don't know if they're going to be doing studies on Dylan and his current symbiote, but I think they know that Venom is going to try to find him. Venom is coming, because Venom's just not going to sit there and just let Dylan be taken. I think the twist is that with them wanting to, it seems, weaponize Venom isn't going to take kindly to that. And Dylan, once they bond, is how they're going to find their way out of this empty throne facility, because they're going to probably the biggest facility that they show in the beginning. So that was edition 3. Edition 4 should be out either next month. I have to double check that, or it's next week. I'm guessing it's next week. By the time you guys watch this, we are officially caught up in Venom. There's only 4. So I'll be doing some Spider-Man recaps as well. I'm on Amazing Spider-Man right now. I did a couple shorts in regards to that, but I don't know if I'm going to keep up with that. I'm about like 10 behind, but we'll see. We'll see. I have a few other ones I can read. I want to stick with this Venom one. What I'm thinking I might do is I might read on my own time the current Amazing Spider-Mans and do a review of the most recent one, and then go from there. So I'm caught up through the week. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, drop a like, drop subscription, drop some comments in there. Let me know what you thought about it this edition. It's starting to pick up. I'm getting more interested to see, because now I know the backstory of this. I don't know the full backstory, but I know the story of this empty throne, or I already forget what they called it, the Absent Throne. And I'm curious to see what they're trying to make either Venom or Dylan, what they're trying to get him to do. Because he's like, we're going to poke and prod. Drake said, we're going to poke and prod to see what comes out of this. So we will see what happens in edition 4. This was edition 3. If you liked it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Let me know where you guys are at with this one. I'll be back for the next edition, and I'll also be back for some Amazing Spider-Man ones as well. And yeah, stay tuned for that. Talk to you guys later. Peace.